What's up, fellas, ladies and fellas?
Bobby, as the defensive captain, what was your first conversation with Jadeveon Clowney?
I texted him, let him know excited to have him here. I know he was waiting to kind of get back to ball. He had a lot of stuff going on where he was at, so I just told him that if I can help him in any way, I reach out.
What was your initial reaction, though, when you found out he was coming here?
Honestly, I was on a plane, so I didn't know until I landed because the plane didn't have Wi-Fi. So I went on the plane before the cuts, and then I got off the plane when everything happened. So my phone was blown up, and I found out why.
What does that mean for the defense, though? To have him and to have Ziggy back and some of these guys that we've been seen on the field together out there?
Just having those guys, those playmakers is amazing. I don't know if y'all seen them out there the other day by themselves. They both like 6'8", look like. It makes me look taller, so I'm excited for that.
How about just the statement the team makes too? I mean, making a move like this at this point to really address an issue like that. I mean, I guess as a player, what does that kind of tell you about what the team thinks about what you guys can do?
I just think they over the years they've always done something like that. They're always looking for ways to make us better. We compete in all type of ways here, so I definitely felt like they were going to do something, didn't know what, and it just shows that they're constantly on it, constantly trying to make moves to help the team.
What are your expectations for this defense? I know you thought this was a good group all along, and you add him to the mix. Just what do you think of this defense as a whole?
I think we're going to be. We have a chance to be really good. You kind of don't want to get caught up into the hype as far as seeing all the names and seeing all the stuff because I'm not saying we did that, but we had that point where it was like we made a trade for Sheldon, and it was like they listed all the All-Pros and Pro Bowls that are on the team, and it didn't go the way we expected it to. So I think the focus is you still got to do the work. So it doesn't matter who's on the team. We still got to make sure that we come out there prepared, ready to go. I'm excited about this group. This is one of our closest group. We spend a lot of time together. We've grown a lot together. So I'm excited to see how our growth off the field turns in on the field.
Does there end up being more on your plate, trying to make sure that Jadeveon and Ziggy know what to do on the field, considering they haven't had a chance to practice with the all, and Ziggy more so with lockers and stuff, but haven't had a chance to practice with the all that much up to this point?
No, I mean, it's a lot on the quarterback or the defense shoulder, so it's not that big deal. They want to learn, they want to get out there, they want to play, I want to lead, so it's a good little recipe.
When you caught games in the past that Jadeveon was playing in, what sort of stood out about the way he played to you?
Just his motor, for sure, his effort, the vicious hits in the backfield. The running back hits the ball, and before he makes a step, he's getting them, the sacks. I've seen a couple, you watched a couple plays where he just moved a 350-pound lineman out the way like he was nothing and sacked. So it's just the power, and, I know Russ is excited that he's on our team.
Bobby, you mentioned how, this defense is really close, and you're hoping that kind of translates to the field. What are some of the things, I guess, you as a leader and maybe KJ have done to try to get the defense together? Like those, I guess some of those activities you think can really, help translate?
I think sharing your knowledge is one thing, because I think a lot of times you come in, you got an older guy, maybe he doesn't want to talk to you, so kind of opening that up, doing a lot more activities outside of the building. And, I think Coach Norton did a great job in, kind of making it a competition to see, how fast we can get to know each other. So that's beyond football. I think when you get to know a person, what he's playing for, what he's fighting for, how many kids, do we have a wife, when you know a person personally, then it helps you push them on the field. So I think we did that, everybody did that, and I'm excited about that.
He talked about you and KJ and Michael and how excited he is about the three of you together, but said just because of the varying reasons you guys didn't play a whole lot together in the preseason. Does that matter a lot in your eyes, that you guys need to kind of have some time playing together before you guys really know how to all work together, especially just adding Michael to that mix over there?
No, we know how to play football. So, I mean, it's just going out there playing football with each other. I mean, I think, for all the time we didn't get on the preseason games or things like that, we got a lot of reps in walkthrough. We got a lot of reps in other areas. We spent a lot of time in the film room to understand what each other is thinking. I think that goes a long way too. So, I think it's going to be great to have us all three out there playing, communicating. It should be fun. But I think, the work we did off the field should, help us speed that process up a little bit.
Bobby, what concerns you about the Bengals' offense? Is it maybe the unknown, not knowing kind of how Zach's going to run things?
Well, technically nothing concerns me. But you just try to, it's always tough that first game when you're playing a team that changes coordinators because you don't know, do they run a new system? Do they run what they what they did with the Rams or whatever? Do you watch the Rams? Because now you're watching Todd Gurley. They don't have Todd Gurley. So it's kind of just trying to figure out, what plays hurt you from that offensive scheme and try to make sure they don't hurt you again. And understand they got different weapons. They got different people. And so trying to figure out what they potentially could do against us with their version of what the offense looks like. So at the end of the day, I think you still got to just play ball. You still got to, whoever can find the ball the fastest is still going to win the game. So, and stop the other team from scoring. That helps.
You were just on CJ McCollum's podcast.
I was. I didn't know that came out.
Had a good relationship with him. Like, how did that come about? You guys good buddies? You respect his game?
Yeah, I respect his game a lot. I told him I play basketball, so whenever he need me, I'm ready. I respect his game a lot. Respect him as a person a lot. I believe he went to a small school too, so we have a lot in common. Utah State's not small anymore, though. Just saying. So it's cool. It's cool to get on this podcast and talk a little ball.
I wanted you to pick up with him. How's your jumper? Is it still all right?
My jumper's all right.
You good?
Yeah, I'm all right. And then I'm like Kyrie at the hole, so it don't really matter.
Allegedly.
Huh? Allegedly. I mean, somebody in this room has seen the damage that could be done.
Best on the team, or
100%. 100%.
Was it set him up for that?
Huh?
Did you set him up for that?
What?
He walked right into that.
I mean, look, we could play. You know what I'm saying?
Bobby, your coach mentioned that the defensive ends, Clowney and Ansah, liken a little bit to Clemens and Averill and Bennett. When you had those defensive ends that the offenses had to scheme against, how'd that help you? What's the difference?
Well, it's more bodies you got to account for. It's people you got to account for. And like I said, Mike and Cliff, they were tall, but they're not this tall. And so it's just, when we had that type of stuff, it's just they have to account for different weapons. And so you have to account for me, you have to account for KJ, you have to account for Mike, you have to account for Clowney, you have to account for, on and so forth. And it helps you out because if you don't account for the right person, you freeing up a pretty good blitzer, a pretty good guy that knows how to get to the quarterback.
You were voted captain by your teammates again this year. What does that mean to have your teammates?
It means a lot. I take pride in that. I take pride in being the best leader that I can. Trying to be an example, a positive example for guys to see and for them to hold me in that high regard. I'm grateful. I don't take that for granted. And, I'm always looking for ways to be better as a leader, be better as a man. And so excited to have another year to do so.
If you had to describe this year's team with one word, what would you use?
That's a great question. Tenacious.
Why is that?
Because I think you're going to see the way the defense get after the ball, the way the offense attack is going to be pretty exciting football. I think the offense has a lot of weapons. Our line is great. Russell's great. Running back's great. Receivers are great. And the D-line is amazing. Linebackers are pretty good too. So I'm really excited to see everything kind of come together.
And to be clear on that flight during cut day, they didn't have Wi-Fi on the plane, or you just didn't want to buy it?
They didn't have Wi-Fi. That's a great question too. They didn't have Wi-Fi because I was playing with the Wi-Fi for like 30, 45 minutes, and the lady said it was broke. And it was a long flight too, so I had to read and do other stuff that normal people do, I guess.
Ben Burkervin had a really great game in his final preseason game. He said he accredited 5 or 6 of the tackles to lessons that you and KJ have taught him. Just how much of a learner
Wow,
has he
5
been?
or 6.
How
I need a
much has he
percentage
learned
of
from you
that.
guys, and how do you think he's going to do this year?
I'm sorry, I was laughing. Can you, what's the last part?
Just like how quick has he been picking stuff up from you guys, and just kind of in general, and what do you expect to see out of him this year?
He's been picking up a lot. I think with when you always got new guys and rookies coming in, I think the thing that stands out the most is how many questions they ask, and do they listen to you when you tell them stuff. And I feel like he's asked a lot of questions. I think me and KJ have the mindset of we don't keep the information in. We want to pass the information on. So if we have a curious person, they can get a lot of knowledge from us, and I feel like he's done that. And so, I expect him to be ready, if something happens to us, and I expect him to have an amazing effect on special teams.
Is it fair to say that it's no longer Legion of Boom, it's now the Tenacious D?
I don't know. We ain't got a new nickname yet, but I'm always open for suggestions.
Anything else? Thanks, Bobby.
Appreciate it.
Wayne's on this list.
It's a